evening and welcome to Edinboro Television. I'm Leslie Schaefer.
And I'm Taylor Buffington, and this is your weekly news update.
The trial for 22-year-old Edinboro shooting suspect Trey Gunter has been postponed until June 22nd. Gunter is accused of the shooting death of Tobiah Johnson on November 17th. According to GoErie.com, Assistant District Attorney Roger Bauer motioned for the postponement after prosecution is waiting for the results of blood testing and DNA samples that were found at the scene. Testimonies revealed that Gunter and an unknown person attacked Johnson and the dispute erupted from a stolen gun. Edinboro police are continuing to investigate whether more individuals were involved with the crime. Prosecution is seeking first-degree murder, which will be life in prison with no chance of parole. For all the latest developments and up-to-date information on the story, you can go to boroonline.com.
Edinboro University President Julie Wallman announced the members of the Blue Ribbon Commission this past week. Members of the commission will provide recommendations that will give the university more ways of giving a safe environment for students that live on and off campus.
I think the point of the commission is that they will come up with the recommendations, but I think the kinds of things that they're going to need to look at are what is acceptable behavior for students living off campus, what kinds of consequences should there be for behavior, what kinds of discipline should there be, are we getting enough information about students' behavior off campus when it's very problematic so that we can intervene when that's needed. How can we work more closely with the borough police and the borough to make sure that our students are being good neighbors in the community? Do we have the right sanctions for violating rules that we have here? Those are some of the kinds of things I think that they'll think about. It's really about collaboration between the campus, which is incredibly safe, and the surrounding borough, which is also an incredibly safe place, but things do happen, and we want to make sure we minimize the number of things that might happen.
Members of the commission include Edinboro University Athletic Director Bruce Baumgartner, Edinboro University Vice President for Student Affairs Dr. Kahan Sablo, and Assistant U.S. Attorney Marshall Piccini, as well as several others that show leadership within the community. Retired Erie County Judge Michael Palmzano has agreed to chair the Blue Ribbon Committee.
Members of the Edinboro campus and community gathered inside the multi-purpose room of the Polk Student Center last Thursday for the 7th annual Student Athlete Auction. Before the auction started, Make-A-Wish recipient Bella returned with her family to talk about their trip to Hawaii. The trip was revealed to Bella during a basketball game in February. Afterwards, several Fighting Scots were auctioned off to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Some athletes showed off their dancing skills, while others made their entrance simple but classy. All of the proceeds raised Thursday night benefited the Make-A-Wish Foundation. If you were unable to attend the auction but would like to donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, you can send in a check payable to Make-A-Wish to Bruce Baumgartner, Director of Athletics, Edinboro University, 455 Scotland Road, Edinboro, PA 16444.
Sexual assault, hazing, and discrimination are what the Greek life organizations of Edinboro University walked against last Tuesday. The accusations of recent Greek life activity across the nation prompted the Not on Our Campus march to express that such involvement in Greek life was not going to be tolerated. Edinboro President Julie Wallman spoke to ETV about the march.
It's wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. They are being proactive and they're standing up as a group and saying they won't tolerate sexual assault. They won't tolerate discrimination of any kind. They want this to be a welcoming campus for everyone and a safe campus for everyone. So, and I thought the number of students who were involved in the Not on Our Campus march was really impressive and energizing.
Edinboro Greeks plan to keep expressing the no toleration policy of illegal activity on the Edinboro campus.
On Friday, April 17th, the Highland Ambassadors held an etiquette dinner for students and faculty in the North Van Houten Dining Hall. Co-chaired by Bethany Scott and Shannon Truesdale, the goal of this event was to teach participants how to appropriately etiquette techniques for dining. Students began by listening to speaker Barb Ruscidio before taking their seats to enjoy a 5-course meal.
When we return, we will show one of the new clubs that will be available on campus and how an art professor whom I met with in the beginning of the semester is giving a tell about her impaled head case. Keep watching.
My parents always said that a bridge is only useful if it can be crossed.
At Edinboro, I found a university that connects who I am to who I want to be.
A school that's affordable, with excellent professors and nationally recognized undergraduate and graduate programs who give personal attention to my success. Edinboro is also a place with great traditions and big-time school spirit.
Edinboro University. It's the bridge to your destination. Choose excellence. Choose Edinboro. Apply online at edinboro.edu.
On April 13th, 14th, and 15th, members of Crew, which is one of the campus ministries, stood around different locations on campus to share their testimonies, but with a twist. They wrote them on cardboard. Cardboard testimonies allows Christians to testify how God has changed their lives. Crew participates in cardboard testimonies as a way to reach out to students. Crew holds weekly meetings every Wednesday at 8:30 in the Pogue Movie Theater.
The UP Paranormal Society met this week for their first meeting as an officially recognized Edinboro on-campus organization. The topic for the night's discussion was demonology. Unfortunately, the original speaker, Reverend Robin Swope, had to cancel due to illness. However, the Society's faculty advisor, Dr. George Richards, from the Political Science and Criminology Department, was able to fill in for Swope. The Paranormal Society has been meeting on campus since February, and their meeting will be held on March 28th, and the topic discussion will be occult crimes.
Last Thursday, the Communications Department hosted a panel entitled Edinboro Alumni on Career in Sales. Drew Patrick has more.
On Thursday, April 16th, 4 prestigious Edinboro alumni came to Compton Hall for a panel discussion on career opportunities in sales. Rob Lowther Jr., founder of Great Lakes Case and Cabinet and owner of the Erie Brewing Company, Kelsey Bone, territory manager for Horizon Pharma, Aaron Gast, account manager for WorkBot Studios and founder of the North Coast Bass Anglers, and Brian Presgay, global strategist for Cloud Tags and principals for Pixels and Bricks in New York City, shared their insight and experience in the world of sales. Rob Lowther Jr. and Kelsey Bone talked about what is the most important thing for young people who want to get involved in sales.
Well, I think the interaction with, the panel tonight, you had 4 people from a recent graduate to an old guy like me. I think is important for the students to see people that have had real life experiences in field sales, and it could be a variety of sales, whether it was as a sales rep or technical sales or sales management. And you saw 4 different industries represented tonight in terms of field sales. So I think it kind of gives the students an understanding that, hey, it's not one-dimensional. There's many different facets to the industry.
Like I said before, get involved, know what it takes to be confident in yourself and be able to approach people. Like I said, there's times in my job now even, I've only been doing it for a couple months, but I catch doctors at bad times. They don't have time to talk to me. They're running to a patient. But you have to be able to kind of take what you have and get that message out there really quick and know your product.
At the end of the panel, Brian Presgay was presented with the Distinguished Alumni Award by the Communications Department.
I'll tell you what's really cool about that is, so I'm a little bit potentially later in life for starting to be entrepreneurial. So I just turned 38. Now that's maybe not, but you question a lot of things when you're becoming. Do I have the brain power? Do I have the guts? Can I do this thing? And when somebody all these years later recognizes you for something that you did, then it's just for me a fantastically timely reminder of, hey, you have done good things, and hey, you've added value, and remember that in some of these tough times that you're experiencing now. And it's a really cool thing to stay involved. You know, I got here a little bit early today so I could drive around campus and see what was new, and went to the bookstore and got a sweatshirt, and my nephew a cool little Burrow t-shirt, you know, because my great aunt went here, and my aunt went here, and I went here, and my brother went here, and you want to keep that tradition and that heritage going.
For ETV, I'm Drew Patrick.
The 17th Annual Health Fair will be held on Wednesday, April 22nd in the multi-purpose room of the Frank G. Pogue Student Center. Demonstrations will be given from the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Club, and a blood drive will be held during the fair as well. The fair will start at 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The fair is free and open to the public.
Edinboro's 2015 Academic Honors Convocation was held in Cole Auditorium on Friday, April 17th. This event was to honor seniors who excelled in academics in their 4 years at school. Stools were summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude were handed out, as well as the outstanding departmental seniors. The ceremony ended with faculty awards. Faculty Member of the Year went to Dr. Kenneth Felker. Scholar of the Year went to Dr. Donald Sheehy, and Advisor of the Year went to Dr. Cynthia Legan-Bushel.
Coming up is your weekly weather report. Stay tuned.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car.
Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
Good evening, my name is Jeremy Streck, and I'm here with your weekly weather report. Currently, our temperatures are very mild and within that 50-degree range. Right now, at night, that's what we're getting with those cooler temperatures, unlike down south where they're getting some nice warmer temperatures, which we'll be getting later on in the season. When we look at tomorrow, we can see that our temperatures are going to be, throughout the day, going to be fairly moderate, typical spring weather, going to be within the 40s to mid 40s to mid 50s or so, within that range. And when we go into look at the map, we see that it will be cloudy throughout the day, but we're probably going to get missed with that precipitation, all that rain. We may or may not get it, but what we're looking at right now is most likely we're not going to get any rain, unlike other places like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. When we look at tomorrow, or Thursday, our temperatures are still going to be pretty well balanced throughout the week. We're not going to get too much within that. It's going to be within that 45 to 50s range. And now let's look at the weekly weather for week ahead. On Wednesday, we have a high of 47. We'll have clouds throughout the week. And when we get to other days, like on Friday, we're going to have moderate temperatures throughout the week. It's not going to change too much at all. And as we end the week, we're going to have a lot of clouds. We're going to have possibly some rain on Thursday, so be aware of that. Now it's time for some trivia. This week's question is, what is the freezing point of water on the Kelvin scale? Is it 373.15 Kelvin, 273.15 Kelvin, 373.51 Kelvin, or 273.51 Kelvin? The correct answer is B, 273.15 Kelvin. That's all I have for you today. Up next, we have our Global, followed by your Fred and Scott Sports Report. I'm Jeremy Schreck, signing off.
Danse, balance la cadence, on lève bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Where's the words?
Oh, there's no words. No, there's no teleprompter.
Sorry.
I love it. No words. That's good.
Okay. I saw myself up. Welcome to Global News. I'm Cheyenne Majid. Earlier this month in South Carolina, a man by the name of Walter Scott was fatally shot by Officer Michael Slager, and the whole thing was caught on video. Slager shot at Scott 8 times after Scott ran during a traffic stop. It is unknown why Scott ran and unknown why Slager shot at him. It is claimed Scott had the officer's taser, and that is why, but it is also claimed that Slager's taser dropped after he shot him. We caught up with Professor Matthews and asked her about the situation. This is what she had to say.
I can tell you that that in terms of how it is that the entire situation that was handled, that even law enforcement officials will tell you that there were mistakes that were made by Officer Slager. My focus really is not just on that particular incident, but on the policies that support and continually support these kinds of incidences continuing to happen. We're talking about a vast pattern of behavior. We're not talking about something that happens every now and then. We're talking about something that happens on a daily basis, multiple times on a daily basis across this country. So while Officer Slager clearly made mistakes because an unarmed person who was running away from him wound up dead, that is a symptom of a larger problem that is undergirded by the policies that many law enforcement offices and institutions currently hold.
Matthews explained that while incidents such as Walter Scott has been recorded, it has never been uploaded, and the importance of social media could reveal an outcome that no one could expect.
I think that what's going to change things, it really is the fact that these incidences are being filmed and uploaded. And the uploaded part is the important part, right? It's lots of things over the years, lots of bad things that have happened over the years have been recorded, but they haven't been uploaded. And so the key here to change, I think, in part, I think this is the first step, is for people to keep videotaping, recording, and then immediately uploading these incidents, because when they are uploaded to, say, for instance, YouTube or Facebook, millions of people see them, and they see them immediately, which means that you really can't, people who are doing wrong really can't argue that, oh, well, my life was in danger, because that is what happened with this incident. What happened with this incident is that Michael Slager shot Walter Scott, went back to the office, filed, his report, and in his report, he basically says, my life was in danger, he went for my taser. He said that in his written report. It was supported by his supervisors, and then it was supported by his attorney, or the attorney for law enforcement, and then it was released. Had we not seen this incident occur on video, his initial recounting of the incident would have stood, and he would have never been charged with murder.
Matthews also gave her opinion on the various hashtags used on social media, such as hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Here's the issue. When we are talking about the first hashtag, Black Lives Matter, what we're talking about is the systemic problems that are inherent to police brutality, right? It is not that there isn't police brutality that occurs on a rampant basis in other communities. It's not. There's police brutality. There are white people who are victims of police brutality. There are Asian people who are victims of police brutality, Native Americans, the list goes on, right? That's not the point. The point is that the hashtag Black Lives Matter and the movement that has sprung up around it is designed to let people know about the inherent inequality that occurs when there are encounters between police officers and African American people. That it doesn't mean that no other lives matter. It means that what we are seeing in these encounters are inherently disproportionately violent when it is black people who are involved.
After the shooting, Slager was fired and charged with murder and is currently being kept in isolation for his own protection. Stay tuned, because coming up, we have our Fighting Scots report with Tyler Trumbar.
Danse, balance, suis la cadence. On devient tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence. Dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou, ton
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Welcome to this week's Fighting Scots Sports Report. I am Tyler Trumbauer. The men's and women's tennis teams faced Roberts Wesleyan on Senior Day on April 13th. The men's team was looking to earn a big win as the Scots got closer to the postseason, while the ladies were looking to get closer to 500. Vitor Albanese at #1 singles earned a nice point here with a blast down the line. He won 6-2, 6-2 in this match. Getting into the ladies, the duo of Julia Hellstern and Lydia Brown won 9-7 as the ladies won 2 of the 3 doubles. The men won all 3 of their doubles matches. The ladies won 5 of their 6 singles as they won 7-2, with the men winning 8-1 against Roberts Wesleyan. The women's team defeated Clarion and lost to IUP to end its season. For the men, they defeated Bloomsburg and Kutztown to end the regular season as the PSAC regular season champs. The PSACs are Friday and Saturday in Bloomsburg. The women's lacrosse team is trying to hang around in the PSAC playoff picture when it welcomed Slippery Rock to Sox Harrison Stadium on Tuesday. The Scots came in as the 8th seed with SRU the 7th seed in the PSAC. The Scots needed the win to keep their playoffs hopes alive, but just didn't get things to go their way. SRU jumped out to a quick 4-0 lead before Becca Martin scored on that free position, making it 4-2. Just minutes into the match, SRU's Danny Wilson sliced through the defense and had an answer, making it 5-2 SRU as they went on to win 19-6. Additionally, the Scots fell to East Stroudsburg and Westchester on the east side over the weekend and finish up their 2015 campaign on Wednesday when they welcome local rival Gannon to Sox Harrison Stadium at 4 p.m. That match will be live on ETV and online at edinboro.tv. The track and field teams had another semi-home meet on Saturday as they traveled to Slippery Rock for the Dave Labor Invitational. It was a solid day for both squads at SRU. For the men, Charles Ivy finished 3rd in the 300-meter dash, posting a PSAC qualifying mark. The 4x400-meter relay team of Joelle Lohr, Kyle Shin, Corey Weefing, and Anthony Kahn finished 2nd. For the women, Bree Dietrich won the long jump with an NCAA provisional qualifying mark of 6.07 meters, which is actually the 6th best jump in Division II this season. Also, Hillary Norris took 2nd in the 100-meter hurdles. The squads wrap up the regular season at the Hillsdale Invitational in Hillsdale, Michigan, as they head to the Midwest on Thursday through Saturday. Edinboro softball had a busy week, having more game days than days off. On Friday, the ladies hosted Seton Hill for a doubleheader at the softball field. The Griffins won the first game 13-3 in 5 innings due to the mercy rule. However, there was much less offense in the second contest. Colette Lenhart for Edinboro was in the circle, and she went the distance, giving up only 4 hits, striking out 6, surrendering 1 unearned run. That run was the only one for either team in the contest as it came there as the Griffins beat out that infield single, scoring a runner from 3rd. The Scots offense struggled against Seton Hill's Amanda Huff and Hope Pearson. The pair combined to give up only 3 hits as the Scots failed to get a runner past second base until in the bottom of the 7th when Brooke Callaghan blasted that double. She got to second base. However, that's where she stayed as Shelby Proctor, the next batter up, struck out to end the game, and that is how they lost 1-0. Head coach Dan Gierlach didn't like that call, and he may or may not have had a case. Regardless, the ladies lost 1-0 in the contest. The ladies visit Pitt Johnstown on Wednesday, host Mercyhurst on Thursday, visit Clarion on Friday, and return home to finish off the regular season with doubleheaders against IUP and Cal. That's all for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ETV Sports to stay up to date on all the latest borough athletic happenings.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
That's all the news we have for you this week. Be sure to like us on Facebook at Edinboro Television or follow us on Twitter at Borough Television.
Or if you have any story ideas, feel free to email us at edinborotv@gmail.com. Have a great night.